สวัสดีค่ะ Welcome to Hot Thai Kitchen. So last week I showed you how you can make your own rice crackers at home. Now this week I'm going to show you a dip that is a classic pairing with those rice crackers. Now this dip is a pork shrimp coconut peanut dip that's a little spicy. It's got lots of things going on, but it's very luscious and so delicious. And this dish is called khao tang na tang. So khao tang, if you saw my other video, you know that means rice crackers. And na tang, I don't know how to describe it to you. So all my Thai fans, if you can help me explain what na tang is in this context, please let me know in the comments below. I could use some help here. But anyway, this is super easy and delicious dip. Let's get started. Alright, I'm going to start out by making the Thai mirepoix, the garlic, white peppercorns, and cilantro roots. So garlic, white peppercorns going in, and then cilantro roots. I've got 2 here that I've chopped. If you want to use cilantro stems instead, if you can't find roots, that's totally fine as well. We call this actually sam gleu, which means 3 friends, and it's a 3 friends that's like the classic base for a lot of dishes. That's it. Doesn't have to be super fine. As long as there are no big chunks, you're good to go. Next, I'm gonna add some dried chilies. For this, you can make it as spicy or as not spicy as you want. Typically, it's not a very spicy dish, so I'm using the big dried chilies. And I've added just a couple of the smaller, spicier chilies, but this will give a nice color, and the little ones will give a little bit of a kick, okay? But instead of pounding it in here, which takes a long time, I always grind my chilies in a coffee grinder separately. Speeds up things so much. That's it. Doesn't have to be powdery. Just as long as there are no big flakes, you're good to go. Ooh, that looks like a lot. Maybe this will be a little spicier than I had anticipated, but that's okay. All right, just pound that together until they're mixed up. And if you don't have a coffee grinder or one that you're willing to grind chilies in, you can just quickly soak the dried chilies in water, and then they'll be soft and it's easier to pound that way. Ooh, and careful. Don't breathe too hard. All right, it's a very simple cooked dip. So I've just got a pot here, a little bit of vegetable oil. So I'm just gonna throw the 3 friends, which is now 1 friend, into the pot here. You wanna cook off the raw garlic and infuse all that flavor into the oil. So once it's sort of starting to brown and some of it will start to thick, just go in with the coconut milk. And this set of coconut milk, I'm actually going to reduce until thick because I want the dip to be really luscious and creamy. Reduce it down and concentrate all that good coconut flavor. So while that's reducing, I'm going to show you my protein. So I've got here half ground pork and ground shrimp. And the ground shrimp, I just buy shrimp and just chop them up with a cleaver. Super easy. Now, I know you're going to ask, can you use chicken instead? Can I just do pork? Can I just do shrimp? Yes, and yes, you can. This is just what's classic. You can change it up and do shrimp only, pork only, chicken only. The only thing I won't do is beef because beef has a really strong flavor. All right, so now it's thickened. The oil from the coconut milk is actually starting to separate out. I'm gonna go in with the protein and I'm gonna just work really hard to not have big lumps because remember, this is a dip, so you don't want big chunks in your dip, right? You want it to be quite fine. The spatula is way too flexible. I'm changing weapon. There we go. So I can break up any lumps if I need to. Okay, so once there are no big chunks anymore, I'm gonna add the other half of my coconut milk and also all the seasoning. So I've got here some fish sauce, very classic Thai seasoning actually. Some tamarind, so I've got salty, now the sour. So you want this to have a little bit of a tartness, but not too tart, and also some sugar. Palm sugar, of course, and just stir that in. And peanuts. Now this is roasted ground peanuts that I roasted fresh and I ground it up so it's still a little gritty, so no peanut butter here, okay? You want that texture. So I ground this up in a food processor. I'm gonna let this simmer for about 3 more minutes. What I want is for the peanuts to absorb all that liquid, for the flavors to really mingle and marry so it comes together in one cohesive dish. And also it's gonna thicken up a little bit. If it becomes too thick, you can always add a splash of water, so no big deal there. All right, that looks really good. So this is sort of the consistency you're going for. Now I'm gonna throw in some thinly sliced shallots and let that cook down for just about 30 seconds to a minute just to take off that raw flavor. Oh, that's thickened up on me quite a bit, so I'm gonna just add in a little more water. Just a little at a time. A little water goes a long way in this dip. I always surprise myself how much it thins out just with a little splash. And there you go, that's perfect. I'm gonna turn this off. All right, so I'm gonna give it a taste because when you're dealing with things that simmer and reduce, you just never know how concentrated it has become. And also, there's tamarind in here, and that's always something you wanna taste because different brands vary quite a bit. Spot on. And you definitely wanna serve this dip warm. This to me just smells so Thai. And if you get a little bit of oil separation, don't worry about it, okay? That's totally normal, happens sometimes. It's kind of pretty too. All right, I'm going to serve this with some rice crackers, of course, that we made last week. And garnish, very, very simple. You can just put a dry chili. It's always pretty. And a little cilantro right on top. And there you go. That's a classic Thai appetizer right there. Super pretty, super delicious. Let me dig in. A little bit on the rice cracker. A little bit more. It's a very flavorful dip. Sweet, salty, sour, in perfect balance, and rich and creamy coconut. It's kind of brings everything together. So I hope you give this a try. It's super, super easy. And what's great about this dip is that you can make it in advance. So if you have a party, it's one less thing to worry about. Just reheat it and serve. So the recipe, as always, will be on hotthaikitchen.com. When you make it, send me a photo on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Oh, and I'm also now on Snapchat. And if you haven't subscribed to the show, please do so right here so you never miss an episode. And I will see you next time for your next delicious